Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 88 of FTB Revelations, where you guys get to deal with my sick voice all day. Dun dun dun. Well, I'm getting over being sick. So apologies in advance for what will be a slightly sick voice in today's recording, but I still want to get recordings done because that's how Dire rolls, so we're going to get to work. Last two episodes or so, hey, look at you all filled up, generators. Is it possible that you're full? Because that would be amazing. He's full! How did that happen? That's awesome! Hey, our tier 7 energy core is full. Oh, I can already hear it. Dire, make it tier 8! Dire, make it tier 8! Maybe. What would be involved in doing that again? A lot. What would be involved in doing that again? Where's that draconic book thingy? I just want to reference again how ridiculous the cost of this thing is. I know you guys want it. I know you do. Tier 8. 786 Draconian blocks. 378 awakened Draconian blocks. So roughly speaking, 100 hearts. I mean, it's automated. We'll talk about it, but not today. What we're going to do today, my friends, is complete the 25 million RF tick generator, which now we have nowhere to put the RF. It occurs to me that in the time it took me to build this thing, we filled up our capacitor. So we're going to make a 25 million RF and tick generator and have nowhere to put that RF. It's a lot of dragon hearts and a lot of gold that we don't quite have and a lot of draconium. Not the end of the world, though. It should be doable. It might be doable. I think I can upgrade the 7 to the 8, right? If I turn this thing back on and let him run. And because we're low on gold, because that's where we are. Environmental tech, give me a yellow. I'll give me lots of gold, right? Maybe. Maybe lots of gold? I don't know. 100 dragon hearts, though? 100? You know what 100 dragon hearts is going to cost me? By way of end crystals, 400 end crystals. That's what it's going to cost me. I actually have the resources for that? Are you kidding me? How do I have the resources for this? That makes no sense. How do I have that many of everything? Okay, get to work. I can't believe I'm going to do this. I really want to get the rainbow generator going, but it seems silly to have a rainbow gen and like a full tier 7 battery. So if I got a tier 8 battery, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Would be doable. Can I, like, deactivate this and then... I mean, not that it matters. I'm producing so much RF, but I'm pretty sure I can deactivate this, upgrade him, and he will retain the RF that he had already, right? I hope that's true. I don't know. So I guess that means that if we want to do this, there's 2 or 3 things we got to do. We got to look into automating further the dragon thing. So that would just be a timer that runs. Let's test that out. Right? If we made a timer, like the Dark Utilities timer. So if we pop that, and then we're going to want a ranged collector. All right, let's do the thing. To the end. Now, I think last time we tested this, it takes, what, like 3 minutes start to finish on this dude? What I'm going to do is stop recording, and then I'm going to start recording. We're going to watch this whole thing run and see how long it takes to kill the dragon. Here goes nothing. So that should get the spawn going, and then we're going to see him die, and we're going to know how long it took. So he spawns. That takes a moment or two. And then he's going to die. That'll take a moment or two. And then the range collector... Oh, I already have one. Empty blacklist. All right, cool. And this area is chunk loaded. It is now. Nice big chunk loaded area. So this is technically wilderness, huh? Maybe we want to... Wow, that's actually a pretty big area. Do I have to keep all the area, all this stuff chunk loaded, you think? I mean, not that it'll hurt me. Loaded chunks 47 out of 100. I can pull that off. There. Now we have this big area loaded up. That's cool. And the main thing I want to see is, will the heart be picked up by the ranged collector when I'm not here? I don't think I've ever let this dragon die while I'm not here. So, like, how does that work? I've never actually not been here for it. Like, I can chunk load this area, but I don't know what's going to happen. Cool. All right. So, looking at the time that video ran for, that video was 1 minute and 20 seconds in duration, right? So, don't forget we have to wait for him to die down there. So, what I should probably do is just make this guy spawn every 2 minutes. And that will give me like a 30-second buffer in case something, for whatever reason, takes longer than normal. Right? Because let's call it 1 minute 30 for spawn to death, including the corpse and all that stuff happening downstairs. So we'll make it like 2 minutes, and that'll be nice and safe, right? I like that plan. Like it a lot. Red alloy wire, please, because I'd like to place this. Oh, you don't go upside down? Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. We want 120 seconds, right, is 2 minutes times 20 ticks, right? Yeah. So that would be 120 times 2 is 240, so 2,400. That should be 2 minutes. And then the question is, can this do that? Maybe I should have done a timer from the other one. Because I know that can sit upside down, right? Project Red timer? Yeah. Ah! Don't do that. Dire Wolf. Dire Wolf. Hey, nice. That's better. And are you necessary? No. All right, cool. So let's try it with this timer. See, that's even better. $120 seconds, right? So every 2 minutes he will run. Okay. That'll work. So we have 15 dragon hearts in there. Okay. So I guess one thing we could do would be... Oh, and by the way, I can disable this with a lever now. That would be neat too. Would be to make sure that the pulse activates the dragon, which he should, in about a minute or two. And then I want to see if the dragon heart, because I don't have one in my inventory, so I'm hoping that means what happened was the ranged collector picked up the dragon heart. And if that's the case, then we will have 16 dragon hearts after this guy dies. Let's find out if that's true. All right, so good news, the timer worked. I also placed a button there for other purposes in case I ever have to manually hit it, but the timer worked. That is cool. And then what we're going to do now is let this dude die. And I think maybe what I'll do is I'll let him die from the overworld. Right? So in theory, if he dies over there successfully, we should be able to look in here and see 16 dragon hearts show up in a minute. So I'll come back when that's done. Well, hey, would you look at that? 16 dragon hearts. I sat here, I watched this terminal, kicked up to 16. That's pretty exciting. How are my end crystals doing? 400 of them. You don't say. Well, that's also exciting. Let's pop over to the end. And in theory, this should all work, right? So what I should be able to do... hey, I just lost an end crystal. I'm assuming that means the dragon is spawning. Beautiful. Automation at its finest, folks. So, this many? 64 and 36. 64 and 36. 64 and 36. 64 and 36. And I'll add 2 more just for giggles. Man, how's my voice doing? Right, though? Alright, so what I'm going to do now, to truly, accurately verify that everything is cool, I'm going to stop recording for a minute or two, and we'll come back and hopefully be somewhere around 20 dragon hearts. And that will mean that we've generated 4 dragons worth of dragon hearts. And that will tell us that the system is, in fact, running smoothly without me being there. Because that's the ultimate and final test, is I'm not there, right? Every other, like, he spawned, I was there, right? And then I left, and he died, and we got the heart. That's good. Now I want to make sure that he properly spawns while I'm not there. And all the other things that happen automatically, and everything's good. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes or so, and hopefully we'll have a couple dragon hearts here. Well, I'm getting nervous. We've got 17 hearts. We got 1, but it's been a while, and we ain't got another one. So that means either the dragon didn't spawn, or didn't get captured, or something was in the way. There's a few things that could go wrong down there, right? So let's go see what's happening. I'm going to record it. Interesting. The spawning is ongoing. So you're at the halfway mark, which tells me that the spawn started a while ago. Does a player need to be in the dimension for the spawning to start? That is possible. So you look at the timer. The timer's like almost done. Right? I'm going to help this thing die so that we beat the timer. I'm suspecting a player may need to be in the dimension in order for the dimension to allow an Ender Dragon to spawn. This is a little bit of experimenting we're doing now. Do we think that's the case? Because we know that it placed the crystals a while ago, because this thing's almost done. He's about to tick again. See? Boop. See how, yeah. So that tells me, especially because when we came in, those lasers were in that shooting upwards position, like when we got here, and the timer was already like halfway around, which means that for a minute, the lasers were just shooting up, and that's it. So that's a little bit concerning to me. Let me do some research. All right, I'm teleporting back in. So see how it's doing that? Interesting. Interesting. And where's the... See, the timer's almost looped around. It's very weird. It doesn't seem to like there being no players here, even though the entire area is chunk loaded. It doesn't seem to like the fact that there's no player in this dimension when that kicks off. I don't know if there's a way to trick it into thinking there's somebody here aside from chunk loading, right? That's an interesting one. This is for linking to the player interface, right? Yeah. Mob filters player. Player chest, player simulator, but this doesn't, it only simulates player actions. It doesn't act like there's actually a player there. We'll see. See, he's running again. Alright, let me play around with this a little bit. The worst thing I could do would be just to AFK in this dimension, but if I can get it working without me being in here, that would be even better. Right? So, back in a minute. Alright, one more time. Yeah, see, every time I come in here at this point, these crystals are doing this. So it's like it doesn't want to proceed with the spawning of the dragon if a player is not in the dimension. Strange. So just for the heck of it, I don't think the Railcraft chunk loaders work any differently. But maybe what we should do is pop one of these dudes in, and I think they need ender pearls, right? There you go. Let's see if this does anything, right? So, Dragon Hearts we have is 21. We're going to go home. Keep an eye on it. See if that makes a difference. It may. It probably won't. It really shouldn't make a difference. But, hey, you never know. Yeah, so same thing. It just... It does that. It gets stuck doing that. Killing me. Super close to having this fully automated. It just doesn't spawn the dragon when I'm not nearby. Alright guys, when in doubt, go an alternate route. Yeah. We've got a ton of pristine Ender Dragon stuff, right? Because we've been accumulating that for the purposes of making Dragon's Breath. So let's just borrow that for a minute, pop over to here, and make some hearts. How bad of an idea is that? I think that's a pretty good idea, right? That'll just augment our situation, right? A little bit. But I feel like that's less hearts than I thought they would be. Should be one pristine to a heart, right? Didn't I just put 100 hearts in there? Or am I completely crazy? It's weird. Oh. Wait, what? How's there another 64? Is my inventory desyncing again? Oh wait, I bet I know what's happening. Are hearts being pulled? Oh. Okay, no, that makes sense. This guy is extracting on green. He's pulling the pristine Ender Dragon matter out. Well, would you look at that? That is an unintended side effect of the way the system works. I didn't know you could extract from that slot. Today I learned. Alright, that also explains why it looks like it was going faster, right? Didn't it look like it was moving faster than it should have been? I think that's true. Okay. Well, we learned something today, folks. We learned that you can extract from that side of the loot fabricator. Neat. Anyway... hey, which one of you makes gas tiers? Is it you? Yeah, it is. Get me some gas tiers again, please. Thank you. Because I have to reprogram this guy to keep gas tiers coming in. Which, by the way, we're at 17,000. Automation for the win. So, I'm thinking it's a vanilla Minecraft mechanic that's preventing the dragon from spawning when there's a player not nearby. Which means that I don't know that there's a way I could fix that, right? Like... I've tried all the chunk loaders that are available in the pack, and none of them were letting the dragon spawn. Clearly, the crystals were being placed, the dragon spawning process had started, and then it was frozen in place until I teleported into the dimension. And then it picked up where it left off, which is why every time we went in there, the process was basically at the same spot, which is all those beams were shooting up into the sky. And then when I arrived, they started hitting all the pillars with the obsidian. So that tells me, for some reason, and I didn't think that was the case, a player needed to be present in the dimension for the dragon to spawn. I don't know. Makes no sense to me. But workarounds for the win, am I right? And I mean, you know, that doesn't invalidate the creation of that awesome system back there. It was still fun to make. But it stinks that I can't get it to spawn without a player being there. I'll see if I can figure something out. Or if you guys know anything, feel free to let me know in the comments. Hey, yeah, Dyer, there's a way to make that work. But I guess right now what I'll do is get 400 of you, which means Draconian time. So I'm thinking... Yeah, Draconian dimension. Home base, Draconian 1, dial once. I'll be back in a minute. Well, let's start with 100 Awakened Draconian blocks. Hopefully not too bad. Looks pretty good. Now, somebody once told me that I could tick accelerate this guy. Wonder how true that is. Looks pretty true to me. Not bad. The only problem is because of my... Oh, yeah, that was on. Because of my whole, like, turn this thing off when stuff's in here thing, it's a little bit slow. So maybe I should disable that for the moment. Because that really only matters when you've got, like, another thing going on. So maybe I should be a little bit smarter about that, and will be a little bit less dangerous. All right, I think that should be cool. All right, so you should be actually... Yeah, I should keep that on all the time, is what it should be. So how about instead of that, we do... Where is this connector? Is it on this block? I think it is. How about a lever? And this will be the always on lever. Do you go through a block like that? In theory, yes. Yep. That works. All right, let me fix the floor. So for clarification, this is what we're looking at now. Not too shabby, right? I'll take that. That crafting is not terrible. And we're crafting. Nice. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, so disabling this was key to that, right? That's important. Just to make it go that fast, right? That's an important thing to have normally. But if we want to craft a large number of Awakened Draconium, we should have the thing on all the time. Back in a bit. Just for giggles, I'm curious. Am I actually impacting the amount of RF we have stored at the moment? I am. Well, would you look at that? I've used RF. We're crafting 300 Awakened Draconium blocks. As a reminder, each one of these crafts requires 350 million RF a tick. Well, 350 million RF per craft. So we've actually put a dent, not a very large one, a very, very, very tiny dent, but a dent nonetheless in the system. Nice. So we've got 300 Awakened Draconium. I'm going to do another 100. I actually turned off blocking mode here on this guy because it makes him run just that much faster, which is cool. And that is where we're at right now. So another 100, and then we'll be good to go. Back in just a moment. All right, guys, we are back. And let's see. So now I'm going to need around 500 of these bad boys. And we're going to see if that's enough, right? Hopefully. The answer is hopefully yes. So let's see if we can upgrade, because I've actually never tried this. Can we upgrade a 7 to an 8 and not lose any RF that's stored in there? Well, I don't know. But since we filled up the 7, I guess we gotta make an 8, right? I mean, I think that's the way the rules of the world work, right? We fill up the 1 and we have to make another. Oh well, that's how it goes. I guess I'll just wait for the Draconian blocks here to come in. I wanted to make sure I get the exact count that I gave it. So we'll wait for this crafting to complete. All right, so let's deactivate this guy, tier him up. So invalid block. So can I hit the assemble core button? Error, found invalid block within the range, huh? I think I might have to remove a lot of what's here. Is it because 146, 110, 414. Let's just get rid of everything. And I'm assuming this block contains all the tile entity data. So my assumption is removing that block would be bad for us. Yes. So let's not do that if we can avoid it. We're just going to remove all the things, ain't we? Okay, I'm down with removing all the things. That That works for me, right? How's my inventory doing? No network power. Well, no, that makes sense. Inventory is doing okay. Could probably use more. I don't think redstone. What I should probably do is at least keep my network online. So what I'm going to do to keep my network online here is flip this guy to the generator's network temporarily so that he can power my setup here. So now I have access to this dude, because I'm pretty sure no redstone is involved in the tier 8. Isn't that correct? Isn't that how it works? Draconic Evolution, Energy Core, setup. Yeah, no redstone involved, right? So there's redstone blocks in tier 7. There's no redstone blocks involved in tier 8. So there is no upgrading the tier 8, not, you know, directly from itself, right? What you have to do is, like we're doing, break the whole thing. Which luckily I have an OP drill to help me with that. All right, and then assemble core. Sweet. That's pretty neat. And hopefully, like I said, when we reactivate this thing, he'll still have the 2 trillion RF that he had from before. Ideally, we'll have a few extra Draconian blocks. Really? Let's get another stack of the bad boys. I thought I mathed that correctly, but maybe not. Or maybe I let a few Draconian blocks fall to the ground. That's also possible. Missing more Draconian blocks? Today I learned. Alright. I thought I mathed enough Draconian blocks, but maybe I'm wrong. Hoping I mathed enough Awakened Draconian blocks. I did that correctly, so that's cool. So that means we can activate this guy? Yeah, look, he does have an energy storage of 2.14 trillion. That's good. So by not breaking that middle block, we kept our 2.14 trillion RF stored in the Awakened Draconian core. Look at that thing. That is a hugely monstrous core. So he can store. Is it in here? The really big number. Where's the really big number? I will show you guys the really big number. The really big number is this. That's how much RF we can store. So that's 100,000 million billion trillion. So we're here, right? And that would be 372 trillion, and then whatever comes after trillion. And then whatever comes after that. Yeah, that's a big number. That's how much RF this tier 8 can store. So this is 2 trillion RF right here, and we can store that much. So we're not even close to 1%. But at least now we have somewhere for our rainbow generator's power to go. All right, guys, so here's the deal. We're never going to fill this. Yeah, no, that's not happening. So technically that's 9 quintillion, 223 quadrillion, 372 trillion, yada, yada, yada. But it's there now, and we have a place to store all the RF we're going to produce from the Rainbow Gen, which we will, again, still not even put a dent in this thing. I mean, you know. You know what I think would be funny? Let's do some funny math. Actually, you power it off because I have to switch you back to Direwolf20's network, because that's not going to have power unless it has power. For fun, let's divide that number by 25 million. So that number divided by 25 million is this number, okay? So that's how many ticks it will take to fill up the tier 8 orb. at 25 million RF a tick, right? Now, if we want to divide that by 20 ticks, and then we divide that number, so that's dividing by 20 ticks is how many seconds it'll take, divided by 60 seconds in a minute, divided by 60 minutes in an hour, divided by 24 hours in a day, divided by 365 days in a year, the number comes out to be this. That's, if I did my math correctly, how many years it will take at 25 million RF a tick to fill a tier 8 energy orb. So with the rainbow generator going 25 million RF per tick, it will take 585 years to fill up this orb. Just to give some context around how big this number is. Okay? Just to give some context. All right? 25 million RF a tick. Yeah. Anybody have any questions? 25 million RF a tick is what? Is that 500 million RF a second? Yeah. Just to be clear. All right, wrapping up point for the episode. Darwell20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll come back next time. We have all the storage capacity in the world, which is fun. And next episode, we'll get back to Rainbow Gen automation, which will involve culinary gen. I grabbed carrots because I'm thinking carrot juice is probably the way to go for this bad boy. That thing lasts a minute. I was just basically looking at the culinary generator to figure out like how long certain foods last. And I was trying to figure like what's the most efficient. Carrot juice seems pretty good. Sure, there might be better. Might be worse. We'll figure it out next episode. For now, take it easy.